Hey, good morning. Joining us right at the top of the show, Georgia 9th. I'm your host, BKP, Georgia 9th District Congressman, Republican ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Doug Collins. Congressman Collins, welcome to the show this morning.
Brian, it's always good to be with you.
All right, let's start right out with our couple minutes we have together. Let's talk about government shutdown. Now, there's a lot of, I call it sensationalizing, hyping of the situation, but let's put it in context. In coming from you, our congressman in the 9th District, do you consider the southern border a crisis? Is there a crisis on our southern border today?
There is, and it has been for really, frankly, over 30 years. I mean, or more. This is an issue that has got to be dealt with. The president is framing it correctly, and the real reason is the reason he's framing it correctly is because the border security is always seemingly the second, place in everybody's thought, and especially among Democrats up here. They don't want to deal with border security; they want to deal with everything else. So when we look at it from that perspective, he's trying everything. The clearest picture for the folks in the 9th District yesterday should be this. The president, at the end of the meeting, before he walked out, said this. He said, Ms. Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, if we open the government back up very quickly, in 30 days, would you be willing to give any money for border security and wall? And she said no. At that point, she made it very clear. Her priorities is not American jobs, not government workers, not the things she claims. It was those who are trying to come into our country illegally. Yes, this is a crisis.
Well, let me ask you this, because you went right into the meeting yesterday, and like I said, a lot of people in the media to the left, they're saying their narrative today is temper tantrum, and he stormed out and he hit the table and walked out. But what your understanding happened there yesterday is no matter if the president would have stayed 15 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour and a half, nothing was going to change where Speaker Pelosi was concerned as far as funding concerning the crisis on the southern border?
No, she is so beholden to her left. She is so beholden to a narrative that says that, even though, and I made this point in many interviews and discussions that we've had, look, Democrats who are not conservative, like Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, all these folks have voted for border walls as late as a couple of years ago, but in massive form back in the 2006 timeframe. This is something that they have just determined that this is their political wedge issue coming off an election. They're saying, we're going to continue this fight. Her left is pushing her. She doesn't have a good idea. If you were to ask, and I was on the floor with many Democrats yesterday who came up to me and said, how do we get out of this? And I said, well, admit that we need some security and then negotiate on the rest. But it's just they're beholden to it. They believe the narrative is in their favor. I don't personally believe that, because when you really get down to it, it's simply a position of, do you protect Americans and look after our security and find a way to fix our immigration system, or do you simply side with those who are trying to bull rush their way into the U.S.?
I know you're on the House of Representatives side, but just being up there in D.C., what are you hearing across the hall there in the Senate? Do you hear that the Senate Republicans are remaining unified, as the president said, or do you feel there's going to be cracks in the Senate? And I know you can't speak for them, but you are up there. What do you hear that you could share with us this morning where the Republican Senate's concerned?
Well, I'm hearing, and look, Lindsey Graham and I, he's my counterpart in essence in the Senate. He's being chairman since they kept majority. But we talked over the break. We've talked and kept in touch with them and others, even including the administration. My only concern right now is they're trying to fix stuff. They're sort of trying to give away stuff that at the end of the day is, yes, incentive for Democrats. I'm talking like DACA and things that do need to be fixed. Don't get me wrong. But at a certain point in time, we're not doing the things that I believe need to be done, and that is take away the incentive where you have incentive for parents to give their kids over to coyotes to bring across the border, because once they get here, because of the victim bill that we have up here, they have to be turned over to relatives in the United States. We never see them again. You have the Flores issue, where it was an agreement in which when families come across, we can only keep them in custody for 20 days. Then we have to let them out, and it could be years before their asylum claim is taken up. And then you have asylum itself. Now, this is something you have to understand. It is a very valid legal argument for immigration if someone needs to come to the U.S. and apply for asylum. The interesting issue is we have such a low credible fear standard, which is the first step on saying, I need to come here because I have a credible fear for my life and safety back where I'm coming from. 90% of folks who claim credible fear at the border will get in. The interesting part, though, Brian, is this. Once adjudicated, once going before an immigration judge, less than 20% of those are actually found to have credible fear. The problem is it could take years in our system right now to get that thing through. So I'm concerned the Senate is trying, but I'm also concerned they may be on the wrong path here.
I do understand some Americans will not, government workers will not be receiving their paycheck. But I will tell you this, Congressman, on the outside of the Potomac here, out here in rural America, I think the fact that we found out just a partial shutdown equals 800,000 government jobs is something of interest that I think gets glossed over. But I do think that's playing out there in America as far as saying, wow, that equaled 800,000 jobs. So there's something in itself. Now, Friday, paychecks don't go out. And so let me ask you, as far as a government shutdown, as far as you yourself, Friday, do we stay the course as Republicans and we say, hey, this pressure is the only way we're going to get border security? And does that border security to you equal having to have a barrier?
Yes, I think it has to be a barrier. I mean, look, our Border Patrol agents say that barriers work. Now, in all fairness, would 2,000 miles of a 30-foot concrete fence? No, that's not practical. Border officials and immigration officials tell you don't do that because, number one, you got some private property concerns, but you've also got some areas with the river. You got some, mountainous areas and stuff where you just, frankly, is not practical. We can cover that with other areas, but having border, security wall, fence, however the president, is this, the steel. I mean, I like that as well. But I mean, if you look at it, those do work in the areas where they're set up to work. It does do that. The Secretary Nielsen has made that very clear, and I'm a favor of that as well. So I think we've got to look at this from a total perspective. Brian, you and I have talked about it before. Immigration has to be fixed. We've got too much perverse incentive for people just to come across our borders and to do it in ways that are not legal. Legal immigration works. Legal immigration is something we need. Illegal immigration is hurting us, and it's causing a strain on our systems at the southern border. It's causing strain on our infrastructure systems. And so those are the things I think the president's fighting for. Come Friday, it's going to be difficult because, TSA workers, others will miss their first paycheck come Friday if we don't get this solved. I believe this needs to be solved. I believe the Democrats need to come to the table. I believe Ms. Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have got to realize that they're hurting Americans by even not negotiating, by saying no to anything the president says. We've got to look at this in a longer-term fashion. But at the end of the day, the president is looking out, what I believe, for the American people, while the Democrats are looking out for those trying to bull rush our borders.
As we've said many times, Congressman, quit running around with the mop if you haven't fixed the leak, right?
Hey, until that pipe on the other side of the basement is fixed, you got nothing but water in the basement.
Exactly. Let's move to something else. Has there been any meetings this year in 2019 with the House Judiciary Committee? I know you're ramping up with staff. We got an email on that, and you're getting settled in there as the ranking Republican member on the minority side. Has there been any meetings with Jerry Nadler and the committee, or what's the schedule? And what do you see the direction Jerry Nadler, Congressman, the chairman of the House Judicial Committee, what direction do you see him going in to open up 2019?
Well, at this point in time, we're getting everything set up. Yes, I've had meetings with Chairman Nadler. Jerry and I have known each other for the time I've been in Congress. And look, I've made it very clear to him, if he wants to do things that we've worked on in the past, like First Step Act, like the Music Modernization Act, where we actually work to find bipartisan solutions, I'm all there. But I've also told him, if he goes off on tangents, then there will be a battle, and it will be a battle that we intend on winning. So it's going to be interesting. We've not actually set the committee up. The Democrats, and again, this always happens in a transition of power setup. They've not got everything together. They've not been able to populate committees. So we're looking at that probably in about another week. We've already butted heads on a few things. He threatened to subpoena the acting Attorney General Whitaker. I reminded him he couldn't do that. We haven't set up the committee rules yet, and the only way he could do that was with my consent, and he wasn't getting that. And we've thought in the press a little bit, on those kind of things. So it's going to be contentious, but I think hopefully at a certain point in time we can work through those items. But if he thinks that we're just going to sit down and lay down to an agenda that they won't, they're sadly mistaken. And they've already put out two bills that are very concerning. H.R. 1 was their premier quote piece of legislation. Brian, if you go through this, and readers can look this up in the text, there's just some blatantly unconstitutional issues there. I mean, they're talking about what states can do, and it overreaches just dramatically. Again, it's a feel-good piece of legislation that, in the end of the day, not only doesn't do anything, but actually disenfranchises legal voters. This is the problem I'm having with it. And then H.R. 8. This is the bill that they introduced, that'll come through the Judiciary Committee on universal background checks. Let's just frankly stop saying that and just say what they're wanting to regulate is private sales. And that's all they're wanting to do. But yet they don't want to do it with a registry. They're saying, oh, we can't go to registry, because they know at the end of the day, if that happens, then people would balk on this. The bill they put forward is simply something to solve or salve their supporters, and it does nothing. In fact, it's a crime to actually tell these people it would actually help them.
Tom Steyer said yesterday he was not going to run for president. He was going to invest $40 million in his continued campaign to move the ball forward to impeach the president of the United States. My question to you on the House side, do you feel good that your counterpart on the Senate side, which has majority, Lindsey Graham, anything they try to do on the House, he will counter on the Senate side? Do you feel good about that?
I do. I think, look, at this point, I will say, Chairman Nadler and even Speaker Pelosi on this, they don't even like to get close to to impeachment. Chairman Nadler is very squeamish when he's even asked about it. He talks about it, but he's definitely not one of the drum beaters on it. And Ms. Pelosi's not either, because they recognize the fact, number one, they don't have anything to impeach the president on, number one. That's the first and foremost thing. But also they realize that in doing so, it just so polarizes the nation and would taint, frankly, the 2020 election. They go back to the Clinton impeachments in the late 90s, and they saw the political fallout from it. So, look, we're prepared for that. My committee, my chair, our leader McCarthy, we've already had meetings on discussions, the what-if scenario. So, look, we're ready if that happens. But at this point in time, the Senate and I will be working together where we can't stop some things. Lindsey and I have already discussed how they can.
All right, we got a couple things here because we're coming up at the end of our time we have with you this morning. Let me ask you this: how do you feel about maybe some more cooperation from the Department of Justice with the pending confirmation, new Attorney General William Barr coming in? Because I want you to take just a minute and talk about the letter you, Mark Meadows, Congressman Meadows, and Congressman Jim Jordan sent United States Attorney General Huber a letter on January 7th. You guys sent a letter on the 18th of 2018 in March, asking for a special counsel. That got rejected by Jeff Sessions, but he was put in there to investigate. We don't have time to go through the thorough investigation, and he stood up the committee in December to testify. Put all that together for us, and I know a minute is not a lot of time to do that, but could you put that together and what you expect out of that?
I can. Look, we just expect them to move forward on the investigation. My concern was, and I think Jim Jordan's concern and others was, is they put it out in Utah and they just sort of expect it to go away. It's sort of like they want to put it out there. We say we're doing it, but we just haven't got the information. Now, he did give a quick, a summary update, I know, to former Chairman Goodlatte and Ranking Member Nadler. We've not seen that yet. We're just asking to say, let's move this forward. We still believe that there probably needs to be a special counsel. Brian, I can't get into the details of just the problems at DOJ. It is problematic that needs to be fixed. And William Barr, I'm hopeful, will come in clean house and we have a fresh start.
I want to get back on that one day real soon, Congressman, because the letter does reference DOJ and the FBI and what they did and may not have done concerning bias, and we don't have enough time to go into that depth. That leaves a lot open, but I hope we can come back to that real soon. I want you to leave this morning talking about the First Step Act. You spent a lot of time with several others in Congress, the criminal justice reform. Matthew Charles, and we wish him well, was the first one released under that. Tell us a little bit of what that meant to you last year, changing the criminal justice system with the First Step Act.
One of the highlights of my tenure up here, and we've been able to do a lot of neat stuff, and Brian, you and I have talked about a lot of it, but standing in the Oval Office with the president right before Christmas, right after Christmas, and right before Christmas, and having that bill signed getting to talk with the president, as we were talking about, and seeing the faces in the room of people who have so put, so much into that, and then hearing the story, like you just referenced as well, of someone who has benefited from it. I made the comment in the Oval Office. I said this. I said, Mr. President, and he was looking at me, and I said, many times you'll sign a bill and it's simply lines on a page. I said, but this bill has faces behind the lines. And it just couldn't be more evident there. This is what happens when this place does what it should do, and that's negotiate, work hard. Took 2.5 years, 3 years to get that done, and that's what can actually happen. And I'm just so glad that we were able to take that up here to the national level, what we've seen good on the state level in Georgia. And and the president deserves, and Jared Kushner deserves a lot of credit for that. We also had a lot of help in the Senate, and those are the kind of things I think even in this divisive Congress we can continue to build on as we go forward.
Isn't the First Step Act a real proof that the president can go in and negotiate something that's very important to many Americans in this country and not throw allegedly a temper tantrum, as the media wants to say, and get something done? Isn't that really an example that something can get done that affects a lot of Americans? And maybe the Democrats would like to look at it that way, as with border security and funding the wall. Just my words, Congressman.
No, I think actually it's even a little more poignant than that. The president, when we first started, and Jared Kushner and I and others talked to him about that, he was actually not as in favor of it. He had been told things in the past, from the law and order crowd that this can't be done. What I saw that was impressive the most to me was he was willing to listen and change. And I think that is what you need in a chief executive. And I think President Trump exhibited that tremendously in this process.
Congressman, I know the people I know in the 9th District strongly support the President of the United States, so we ask you to stay strong in your support of the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and we wish you well up there in what we call the battle here at home.
That is it. Well, y'all have a great day. BKP, you have a good one. See you.
Thank you, Congressman. We went a couple minutes, folks, just over. I was told 8:15. I wanted to make sure that the First Step Act, and here's what I want to do. I want to come back. I want to take a brief break before Carla's Corner. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back. We're going to spend about 5 minutes. Carla's Corner is coming up at 8:30. I want to spend about 5 minutes on what we just discussed. Kind of break that down, because I did leave something open that you're probably wondering about that we need to clear up for you there at home. So take us to break, Josh. We'll be back. Thank you, Congressman Collins, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
We're more
than just $5 medium one-topping pizzas, stuffed garlic knots, breadsticks, bone-out wings, pasta, and new Cinnabon mini rolls. We're the $5 lineup with the best sides for your pizza.
$5 each.
Choose 2 or more, $5 each. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We opened the show with the congressman because he always puts us at that 8 o'clock slot that he has before he's getting out there and rushing around to get to these committees and the different things he has to do. So we want to thank Congressman Doug Collins for, being on the show this morning. There's a couple things we want to keep an eye on with this conversation we had with the congressman. First of all, if you'd ever like to be a part of the show, and you want to ask me some questions concerning, or you want to make some comments concerning this morning's interview with Congressman Doug Collins, you can always reach us at 706-889-9700, and email that is right there at the bottom of the screen. And there are all the social media ways you can follow our show and keep up with us. Don't forget, on the YouTube channel, we run live there, and anytime we do a live broadcast, you will get a notification. So hit join our YouTube channel today, subscribe. And that's a 24/7 phone number there. Text us if you want to be on the show. Send me a text message, say I want to be on the show, and we'll see if our producer can get you on. Now, a couple things I want to go over where the congressman's concerned. The border, I think a couple things that we need to take away, okay, is 800,000, and I brought that up to the congressman. I think we should take away as Americans that a partial shutdown equaled 800,000, okay, 800,000 federal employees. Now, there are going to be, and we have to prepare out here because, I mean, they are finding people to interview. Actually, they will say they did. I don't know that I agree with it, but they're actually looking at a piece of legislation now to protect a federal employee from their landlord or their mortgage holder. Absolutely. Check it out. Okay? Now, what makes them any different than you and I? If you're not able to pay, okay, if you're not able to pay your rent this month, the landlord sends you a letter, okay? So the first thing will happen, everybody relax, okay? We have to relax on our side, and I actually hate that we have to call it our side, but everybody relax on our side, because let's say you're a government employee and you will not get your paycheck Friday. If you're current on your mortgage, for no other reason, if you're current on your mortgage, you're going to get a letter, okay? You're going to get a letter. Now, your mortgage holder may, and even the person you're renting from may, have the kindness to waive the late fee later on, may have, and it's been done, but you're going to get a letter, okay? Most states, they will not start, okay, foreclosure proceedings for 45 to 90 days. And I say 45 because some states, mortgage holders are able to move faster on foreclosure on property. But let's say on an average it takes about 90 days. Now let's say that, okay? Now, I don't know about rent. Maybe they can get you out in the second month. But everybody relax, because the media will lie, and they will make it look like that on Friday, Saturday morning, that the American people that work for the government that did not get their check, they're out in the cold just like the trash on the streets. Now, the media will rush out with their trucks on Saturday, because Friday the checks don't go out, and they'll rush out with their trucks on Saturday, and they will start finding people that are concerned and worried and don't know what to do. And I called my parents this weekend to see if I can move in. They will make a crisis out of the 800 federal employees. Okay, so get ready for that. Okay, now either you're ready to stand strong. Now the best news here. And I know I'm going to get in trouble with this. The best news here right now is that they're reporting that people are quitting federal jobs in fear of how long this will take. Now listen to this. I like this. There's a report that people are quitting their federal jobs, okay, out of fear of not knowing how long the government will be shut down. Folks, here's the good news. I know 800,000 won't quit. But if we could just get 100,000 to quit and not replace them, what if 100,000 people out of the 800,000 quit their jobs with the federal government? We do not replace them. We save that money, and we get border security. What if? Right? Right now is the best time for the federal employees that are concerned because they won't get paid Friday to hunt a job. A lot of people are looking for people. So don't get overly concerned. Hey, if you want to wait out Nancy Pelosi, this is Nancy Pelosi's shutdown. I don't care what Donald Trump said that day in the room, I'll take it on me. Because I understand what he was saying. Hey, if you got to put it on me, put it on me. But I am going to do what I promised the American people. See, it's Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, the list goes on, that are not doing what they promised the American people they would do. So yesterday, the President of the United States is accused of a temper tantrum and storming out and all these things. It's the furthest thing from the truth. The guy said, if I'm here 15 minutes, let's say I open the government up. I sign everything today, government's open tomorrow, right? That's what he said. Would you then, because the Democrats keep saying, what do they say? They lie. They call the president a liar, but they come out and lie. Schumer and Pelosi come out and lie. And what do they say? They say, well, we keep asking the president to sign these appropriation bills that will open the government and pay these poor, sad government employees that will not get their checks and their families will be out in the cold. And then we will negotiate and discuss what's important and how to secure our border. That is a lie. President said yesterday, if I sign everything today and open the government tomorrow, will you appropriate enough money for me to put a border on our southern border, a barrier on our southern border? No. Nancy said no, absolutely not, nothing. So if I'm here 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 45 or an hour and a half, you will not give the American people a dime to secure that southern border with a barrier that is necessary. No, not a dime. Okay, well then let's go home. We got other things to do. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to have Carla's Corner when we come back. After Carla's Corner, we're going to have our first, you don't want to miss it, because we're going to have our first this year tax tips, H&R Block tax tips with Beth Bennett. And I'm going to ask Beth Bennett because I guarantee you, if you know Beth from last year, we're going to talk about it. I guarantee one of the biggest questions she's going to be asked is, will my tax refund come back? Will I get it? Because that's a fear right now. So what are the new tax laws out there? What are the things you can take advantage of or not be able to take advantage of in 2019 filing your taxes? And will you be getting your tax return if the government remains shut down? We will have Beth Bennett right on the other side of Carla's Corner with tax tips, H&R Block tax tips with Beth Bennett. I'm going to take a break. It's time to get Carla back in here. We can't wait to see her, and I know you can't wait either. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead. The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, we're back. No, you're back. You know,
I am so glad this is okay. I forgot I wore green today.
Oh, look at that picture.
But at least it's green, like it's green enough. Like it's not gonna, God, I was worried about my shirt.
Let's just take in that background for a minute.
Do you know who took this picture?
I was trying to create a mood. I have, you know, my corny joke. I want to know who created the picture, but you know my corny joke. I haven't seen you since last year.
I have a better one, I'm sure.
You have one?
Do yours and I'll do mine.
That's it. I haven't seen you since last year. That's all I have.
Oh, that was your joke?
Yeah,
That's
you
not
remember?
funny. That's not funny.
You don't remember your kids? They've gone back. You remember they go back to school, right? And if you're in the 3rd grade, 2nd grade, or even 1st grade, you're going down the hall and say, "I didn't see you since last year."
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Sorry.
I don't know if my kids did that or not.
Well, you haven't been here in we don't know how long. We got tired of counting the days, but you are back.
I'm back.
And we're at the picnic table. All right, tell me about the backdrop. That is absolutely beautiful because we are
tell you my
looking.
corny joke first.
I'll go with the corny joke. Let's move with
So-
that first. Oh, by the way, this is Carla.
Why was the bumblebee's hair sticky? Because he used a honeycomb.
I like that.
That's a good one, isn't it? I heard it on
Yes.
the radio this morning.
Yes,
The girls
I like
rolled
it.
their eyes at me as I thought it was
Because you
funny.
enjoyed it?
Yeah.
And they were like, really, Mom? Did they give you the really, Mom?
Well, the one that one of them gave me that. The other one had her headphones in and wasn't listening.
Is this a new haircut? This looks good.
I don't think so.
Isn't it? I don't know. I haven't seen you in so long. I
Oh,
don't know.
maybe you haven't seen me since I went and got my
Exactly.
hair
I don't know.
dyed.
I mean, things change. So what's up?
Oh, that picture was taken by Rick Lucas, who's a local photographer.
That is amazing.
That picture has been used so many times by so many people. It's a great picture. It's a beautiful picture of LJ, especially in the summer. That's definitely a summer picture, like right after it's rained when it's been hot.
I was just getting ready to say it's nice and hot, and that fog is rising right
and we
out of
need
the...
that right now. We need a nice and hot picture.
Well,
It's a little cold outside.
well, you know, when I drive north from here, we're coming to you live atop the 14th floor of downtown LJ, and FYN Studios. What's with you?
14th floor.
Yeah, when?
Right above the courthouse and the cemetery is.
Don't
the
you see us in the
14th
picture
floor.
there? You see our high rise. Anyhow. Okay, coming to you high atop of the 14th floor from FYN TV Studios. In LJ, as I'm driving north, a lot of times it's a beautiful drive. I just got here, start north, because you can see those mountains right there, and I call it the fog or the steam, whenever rising out of it. It's beautiful. It's sometimes that backdrop is like that little subtle reminder. This is why I like it here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What else is going on? Talk to me, kid.
Oh, well.
You're the one that hasn't been
I
here.
know. I'm supposed to be organized and all that good stuff. So we have our annual meeting coming up.
Can't wait.
This is the meeting that we do every year that we, do our Citizen of the Year, our Member of the Year, our Business of the Year, and, we acknowledge our past board of directors that are coming off the board, and then we also acknowledge those new board of directors. We swear them in. We do all of, it's basically your annual business meeting, but we do have an awesome speaker that, his name is Greg Frady. I'm trying to pull up his bio that I had here.
Now, when is the annual meeting? Is that next week?
I'm getting there. Here we go. Got it. It's January 17th, so it's next Thursday. Greg Frady is Georgia State University's head baseball coach. Baseball.
Yeah, we get it.
I don't have my head in baseball yet. I have my head in other ball, like
when we
basketball
get
and football.
When we get this finished, I was going to ask you your college football question of the day, but go ahead. Let's get.
But he'll be our guest speaker. He, let's see, voted. I can't read that. It's tiny. He is a native who graduated from Gilmer High School in 1981. He is in the High School Athletic Hall of Fame. He graduated from Troy State, received his bachelor's degree, his education from Columbus State. Anyway, he's going to be a great speaker. He's a hometown guy. I'm sure he'll have a lot of cool things to say. So, great guest speakers, lots of things you don't want to miss. Tickets are only $25. You can still get tickets. You can buy them online at gilmerchamber.com, or you can call our office. Whichever you want to do, we'll take care of it for you, but you can still get tickets to this event.
Are we still having it at the same place where we have it
The First Baptist Church.
That's right. We've had there every year. Their room upstairs is just great for these.
Huge room.
Yeah, it's a very big room. It's great for this right here, and I look forward to that meeting. And it is a great time because the chamber, and we're going to spend time on some other things. But the Gilmer Chamber, it's that time of the year. The members that are coming off the board, we recognize them. The new members come on.
New ambassadors.
And ambassadors, everybody that's involved. But it's a lunch in a day where you look across the room and you say, you know what, a lot of people support this chamber. A lot of people are,
I think we're somewhere in the
network.
ballpark of like 180 have already registered for this.
Yeah, the networking is great. So we're going to have that meeting. I thought you were going to create a new category this year just for me.
Category for.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not Citizen of the Year. It's obvious. I mean, it's obvious I'm not Citizen of the Year. That's obvious. Did I say obvious 3 times or 4? I don't meet the categories. And I was promised that this year there would be just a category for me. I'm telling you, one of these days, there's going to be the BKP award, and I'm going to get up and hand it out. I'm picking who it is, who gets the award. Anyhow, sorry, I just want to say that. What's with you?
Who is the lady? No, she used to be on Mama's Family or whatever that show was, and then she was a comedian. Carol.
Vicki Lawrence.
No, Carol. Something.
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett. Yes, at the Golden Globes, they had the first Carol Burnett Award, and the first winner of the Carol Burnett Award was Carol Burnett. Is that what you're trying to say?
You got it.
I would like
that did take a lot of
to
airtime.
install the BKP Award.
And I will
We
be
don't know
I
what
will
it
be
means or
I
what
will
you
be
get,
I
but-
will be glad to receive the first annual
BKP Award.
Told you. Exactly.
Okay, so that's how that works.
Anyhow, moving right along. College football. I don't want to gloss it. I want to go. Did you enjoy the game the other night as a Georgia fan, or how
I
did
didn't watch it.
you didn't watch it?
I watched I guess the first quarter or something, and then I realized I was watching volleyball, not football. The ball just kept going back and forth and back and forth, and I was just like, "Holy cow, this is going to be a really high-scoring game." And then I was like, I don't feel like watching this anymore.
All right. Okay, what else do we have? Go ahead.
I will say this. I was not surprised by the outcome. I mean, I was surprised by the final score, but I'm not surprised Clemson won. I'm really not.
I'm impressed with Dabo for a long list of reasons. Just Dabo Swinney, first class character. One of the things is he could have left the starters in, and he could have even went with the players he put in, and he could have hung 50 very easy in that last drive against Alabama. I watched the end of that last drive. He could have scored, and he chose not to hang 50 on Alabama. The guy's just first class all the way around. So that being said, I know you're a Georgia fan. I am too. But I know Georgia fans got a little work between this year and next year they need to do.
If any more press comes out from Georgia, I'm gonna have a heart attack. With all this player is going into the draft, this player is going into the draft, this player's leaving, this coach is leaving, this coach is thinking about leaving. I'm like, whoa.
All right, I don't want to take the time. I know we have one viewer that told me one time that if we start talking college football, we lose them.
Sorry.
And well, let's be nice.
It's okay. This will probably be the last time we talk about it.
Right,
for a long
exactly. So, but what else do you have going on? There's got to be other things.
So we are in the process of.
Oh, I got to tell you a story. Well, it took you too long. I mean, I try to get you going, and you just sit here. I actually went out. Now I went out to Ott Farms Friday night.
They have Canvas and Cabernet coming up next weekend.
Now, I don't go to the wineries, not because I don't want to, I don't drink, so I don't go to the wineries. But I go to the wineries, and I'm amazed by what Gilmer County has done as a whole in this industry. And I go to the wineries as events come up. Okay, maybe a wedding.
We have an event coming up.
Can I finish?
If you let me talk,
Maybe a
and you know about it.
politician, maybe this, that, or the other. So Friday night, I attended a wedding at Ott Farms. Their first wedding that they had there, Ott Farm, beautiful, great. Loved meeting the owners, everything. So anyhow, there you go. But I went there Friday night.
We went there about a month ago, and it was nice. It was like a Sunday, so it wasn't like super crowded, and they had the fire pit going, and they gave us a blanket. So
we were able to sit outside Friday night. It was not that bad.
Yeah,
Friday night.
It's just a cool place. Like we're sitting there you're sitting behind the tasting room, overlooking the vines and the mountains, and all of a sudden, as we're sitting there, we see these like perfect, like the kind of cows you see in like pictures, because around here most of them are like Black Angus, or you just don't typically see those like picture perfect black and white cows just dotting the hillside. And it was just like, I was like, this looks like something out of a painting. Like it doesn't even look real. It's so gorgeous. But they do have
only here, folks, do you get to
Cabernet
hear about picture perfect cows.
up.
Sorry.
But anyway,
but you got
and
me with
actually,
the picture perfect
they're actually going to be mentioned a couple of times today, because I wanted to mention a couple of cool new things.
Stop whining about winter.
We'll get there. That's not new. We're going to talk about that too. But I wanted to say, we're going to be releasing a cool press release, and I thought I'd share it with you first, about some new things in 2019 that we think people should check out. One is Ott Farms, of course. They're our newest vineyard that is online, and we definitely think you should, if you haven't visited them yet, you should. They have a great wine selection. They have award-winning muscadine wines, views for days, great atmosphere, indoor-outdoor seating. It's just an amazing place, and you should check it out. The second one we want to mention is LJ Woodfire Pizza. It's a new pizza place in downtown LJ. Great, cool location. They have like an open kitchen so you can watch them cook, bar, everything's really cool place. You should check that out. Another place is Carter K Wine and Craft, open in downtown LJ. It's a tasting room with beer and wine. They also have music occasionally and some different things going on, but it's in downtown LJ. It is owned by Carter K Vineyards, so it is a second tasting room for them. But they do offer both beer and wine and great views of downtown. You can sit there and watch their cars go around in circles, and it's just a really cool place. Another one I want to mention that that is recently opened. I haven't had a chance to taste it yet, but it's a new Mexican margaritas kind of place. It was where Lucy's. Have you been there? Is it good? It's where Lucy's fried chicken used to be. But
it was a great lunch. We went for lunch. It was a great lunch.
I'm excited. I'm ready to try it. But it's where Lucy's is located, or was located, right on South Main Street. So definitely check that out as well. Then we also have a new brewery that will be opening up hopefully in the next couple of months. So get excited about that. It's Carter K River Brewing Company. We'll have some more information as things unveil with them. But I definitely wanted to mention that. So we've got some great things, and I'll keep rolling some stuff out there, but those were a couple I just wanted to mention that have come on the scene that I think that you should definitely pay attention to. Go try it out. It'll be great for 2019. Another thing that's going on with Ott Farms, as well as all of our vineyards, is we have Wine About Winter coming up.
I knew it was coming sooner.
Again, another thing that you guys get to hear about first. Nobody else gets to hear about it but you. I'm actually
Wine About Winter.
Because we will put the official press release with all the information will go out today. So I wanted to give it to y'all first because you tuned in and you paid attention, so now you get to hear about it. You can Google Wine About Winter, and some of the information's on there, but I will give y'all a kind of an idea of what's going on. So on Friday night, Chateau Maitre is going to have some extended hours. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is Groundhog Weekend. So it starts February the 1st through the 3rd. And I believe Groundhog Day is on the 2nd. Yeah, on the 2nd. So on February 1st, Chateau Maitre is going to have extended hours, food truck. They're going to have some special wines. They're going to have all kinds of live music with Barefoot Boone. They'll have fire going in the fire pit, special wine glasses, candles for sale with groundhogs on it. I mean, lots of things happening. Ingleheim Vineyards is also having a special event. A mystery dinner. We'll have a lot of information about that. You'll have to buy tickets separate for that event, but it is going on as part of this Wine About Winter weekend. And then Carter K Vineyards will also be open on Friday. They will have groundhog games. They're going to have, what is her name? Caroline, Carter K Caroline, groundhog mascot that you can get your picture taken with. So some of that will be going on Friday night. Carter K will still have all of their stuff going on Saturday and Sunday, so you can come out on the weekend and get your picture taken with Carter K Caroline. And then on February 2nd, which is Groundhog Day, Ott Farms and Vineyards will have, a hidden groundhog hunt in the vines. So if you find the groundhog, you can win a free bottle of wine. Yes, that's awesome. And then they will also have...
Wait. Nothing... Wait, let's not gloss over going drinking and looking for a groundhog. Move along.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I couldn't let that pass.
They will also have
What are you doing today? Going drinking. Well, then what are you doing? After I get done drinking, I'm going to look for a groundhog. You want to go? Sorry.
That sounds like fun.
Right? Hey, I'm in. Go ahead.
They will also have What's Your Wine About Winter. So what's your wine? What's your complaint? What is the thing that you need to let go of in 2019? Write your complaint on a piece of paper and set it on fire and just let it go into the atmosphere.
Wine About Winter. So you go out there and you write your complaint down and boom, poof, throw it into the fire?
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to have to get you some extra paper.
Oh, yeah, you're funny. You're funny.
On Saturday,
you're ha-ha funny.
Also, Fainting Goat will have Sunny and Share the Love. That will be happening at Fainting Goat Vineyards. You will get a free sangria shot every time you hear the song I Got You Babe play.
I was just getting ready to say, how does You Got Me Babe figure into this? And you did. So you get what now? You
get a free sangria shot every time you hear I Got You Babe.
I know our love won't pay the rent.
They will also have Fainting Field.
I got you, babe. What?
They're going to have Fainting Field.
You know what's bad is when I'm sitting here with you and you're doing these announcements, and I actually remember when these things happened in life. Like you, Sonny and Cher, it's meaningless to you.
I got like 4 minutes to wrap this up.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, folks.
But Fainting Phil will be at Fainting Goat on Saturday, and if he sees his shadow, they will sprinkle snow on the most excited customers and have some free gift giveaways. So all of the vineyards that are participating, Ott Farms, Chateau Maitre, Carter K, Ingleheim, Fainting Goat, all of these vineyards will be participating in this event. They will have events going on all weekend. It's a great opportunity to get out, go visit our vineyards, have a fun weekend. You can go to all of them in one weekend.
So wait a minute. So Fainting Phil, he happens to be another groundhog?
I don't know.
Fainting Phil, another groundhog?
It could be a
I mean, how many groundhogs are involved in these drunken reindeer games? I mean, I'm counting groundhogs all over the place.
Who knows? It could be a goat or a groundhog. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I mean, I probably shouldn't be really chiming in on this, but everything I'm hearing is like groundhogs are everywhere. Go ahead. I'm not whining.
No.
No pun intended.
Brian wouldn't be whining, would he?
So where do we have the, roll up your complaint of the year and toss it in the fire?
Hot Farms.
Hot Farms, interesting. Okay, and that's where you feel I need to take extra paper.
You need to go get like one of those rolls they put in cash registers.
Oh,
just pull it out.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
How are your girls doing?
Good. Glad they're back in school.
You're glad? Are they glad?
I don't care.
You didn't care if they were glad or not. You're just glad they're back.
I'm glad they're back.
Did everybody enjoy the holidays
I
to a point when it was?
No, I enjoyed the whole break. I had a great break. It was a good break.
Good for you. Good for you. We're so happy for you. All right, folks. Don't forget we have the annual chamber meeting next week. We have wine about winter. That's a big thing going on, but
it's the end of January 1st or February, so February 1st,
right.
2nd, and 3rd.
But we have a lot of things going on, but the way you find that is you can always just go to the website and you go to GilmerChamber.com. Right there, GilmerChamber.com. It's that easy. The button in the top corner there where it says click here, that's the calendar of events. Everything we talked about this morning, you can find on those calendar of events. As soon as you click there, everything comes up from outdoor activities to farms and markets, you name it. If it's happening in Gilmer, the Gilmer Chamber calendar of events, everything is there. Everything we spoke of this morning you can find there. I'm your host, BKP. This is Carla. This is Her Corner. Glad to have you back. I know we joke around, but I was glad to have you back. And I know you had to take some time with your family and the kids. And I know you were glad to push those little ones back in that school door. You look to be smiling. Are you ready for 2019?
We love routine. That's all I can say.
Are you ready for 2019?
Yes.
Did you do any New Year's resolutions? No. Just not even thinking about it. Boom.
No.
Just move right along.
Mm-hmm.
New Year. Okay. Love the backdrop. Tell the folks again whose picture this is.
This is Rick Lucas. He's a local photographer. He and his wife Joanne own LJ Coffee House. And you can get some of his artwork there if you enjoy this.
I'm your host, BKP, and right after this, do you have questions about your 2019 tax refund? What can you deduct? What can you not deduct? What are some of the new laws? We're going to clear some of those things up with Beth Bennett. Tax Tips with Beth Bennett right after these messages. You want to stay put for that.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in L.J. next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in L.J. next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and L&J, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
At At Pizza Hut, we're more than just $5 medium one-topping pizzas. Whoa, wait, medium pizzas? For $5? And all these sides, only $5? I'm speechless. The new $5 lineup, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey folks, we are back and I'm happy to start our first segment of the year of tax tips with Beth Bennett from H&R Block. Now, before I get Beth in here, we've done this a couple years. We'll be here every other Thursday. Okay, every other Thursday we'll be here until April, and Beth will be answering my questions, your questions, and she'll bring topics that are important. Beth, glad to have you back this year. How are you?
It's great to be back. Welcome to 2019.
Well, you know what I want to start out with, and just give you the floor is the first time. Right now, there's laws that change that go in, they get implemented in different years. So maybe somebody heard, well, this was happening 2 years ago. This may be the year it gets implemented. There may be deductions that you took last year and you thought, well, I can take them again. What are the number one things that that people, when they come over and sit down with you at H&R Block at one of your locations, are going to find out this year they can deduct, or the law has changed that they need to pay attention to?
So there were lots of changes last year that took effect in, like you said, staggering years. Probably one of the biggest everyone's going to see this year is the doubling of the standard deduction. So if you were married, I think it was 12,600 last year, so that went to 24,000. So that's really big, unless you itemized. If you itemized, now it may not benefit you to itemize. So that may not hurt you on your federal tax return, but it could have significant impacts on your state. Because if you itemized on your federal, then you got to carry that amount to the state return, which was huge because Georgia's standard deduction was $3,000 for a married couple. So if you got $20,000 on your Schedule A and deductions, and only $3,000 is the standard for Georgia, you got to carry $20,000 to Georgia. So that's a pretty big difference for this year. But Georgia did some good stuff last year as well with the changes that happened to the federal, and they actually doubled the standard deduction for Georgia. So Georgia's now went from $3,000 to $6,000 for a married couple. So they're trying to help. That's a big change for Georgia, and I can't remember. I think that was the first big change on Georgia's for. I talked about it last year. So the federal, this is the biggest changes since I think '86, but Georgia it was even before that. It might have been the '70s.
What are some of the top things that people that are going to come to you this year, or people that are preparing their taxes, do need to know that you have, that you want to make sure that we get out to people this morning?
So your personal exemptions went away with the doubling of the standard deduction. Your personal exemption went away, but hopefully doubling the standard deductions helped that. They also increased the child tax credit, so that helps significantly. Reduced tax rates are one of the new things out there. That went into effect on your paychecks last year. You had less money withheld from your paychecks unless you changed your W-4 to adjust for that. And then your tax rate when you do your tax return will be reduced as well this year. So that's a big change. One of the big things that's on people's minds right now is, can I file? Should I file because of the government shutdown?
Yeah, I did want to go into that before we do go into the shutdown, because I do want to ask you that question. I know people are wondering out there. Now, when is the last day that employers have to get your tax information, W-2, to? What is the last day to get that to you? And is it like next week in the 1st of February when you start to see more of a rush of people wanting to file their taxes?
So January 31st is the deadline for employers to mail to you. So they got to be postmarked January 31st for all W-2s and 1099s. So if you worked for someone, they have to mail it to you by January the 31st.
Are people already coming in and asking questions about a refund? Is there already concerns?
Absolutely.
Are you seeing that?
Mm-hmm. We're already doing returns.
Yeah, right. I know you're doing returns, but I mean, are they coming in, or are they concerned about they need to wait to do the return, or they're coming in to do the returns? What's some of the biggest questions you get, and what are you hearing? What's H&R Block putting out to tell you, to tell the people that are coming in, the people filing returns that are concerned with this shutdown and their refund?
So we had a news release was it Tuesday? It happened Monday night, right? My days are running together.
I think so.
So news release, that Congress enacted that the IRS will open. They'll bring back their employees. They will be processing returns and issuing refunds. Initially, with the government shutdown and all previous government shutdowns, the IRS did not work, and refunds were not issued. And so that's a really big change, a really positive for everyone, because that was getting us a lot of phone calls. A lot of people very concerned with. Because for some people, this is their biggest financial transaction of the entire year. Some people get, right now, this time of the year, people come in and file now, they're getting $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 refunds. And so it's a really big deal to them. And I think that was probably the biggest driver to get those people their money.
What is, so at this time right now, can you tell people, well, obviously you can't guarantee nothing, and I'm not asking that, but like, we anticipating delays, or did Congress put out something that said, things should run as planned?
They've never addressed that part specifically, just that they'll open on January 28th, which that's typical. So we've always done returns beginning the 1st of January, and then they kind of sit at a host computer and wait for the IRS to open, and then they all go in and get accepted on like that first day. But that's typical. And so right now there hasn't been any kind of delays on our end, that we can see. So I did see an article from the IRS that said, that all their computers are updated. They were ready to run.
And what is H&R Block? What is some of the information they're sending out to you concerning this, or concerning how to answer some of the questions, or some of the things that H&R Block, because it's one of the things that we've talked about in years in the past, is you do get a wealth of information that they help send out to the offices, much like yours.
Right. So being part of a big corporation, we're well connected. We have, liaisons to the IRS and committees and all that, and so that helps us. We're business as usual. We're business as usual. Come in, file your tax return like you would every year, get it in the system, be the first through the gate, get yours processed as quick as possible, and hopefully get your refund back quick. Again, they don't have anything that says anything is awry at the IRS. Everything is good to go. Everything that we've read and seen has said, everything was good to go. They were ready to go at the time the government shut down.
We have here on the screen one of your locations there, and this is Tax Tips with Beth Bennett at H&R Block, and there's a phone number she can be reached. But how many locations do you have? That's just one. How many do you have?
So here in LJ we have 3. So that one there behind us is located at Craig Street, right between Pools Barbecue and the drugstore. And we have one at Highland Crossing up by Walmart, and then we have the one on River Street right here in downtown. So that's 3 in LJ, and then I've expanded. I now have 8 offices, so I'm kind of covering all over North Georgia now. Spend a lot of time in my car.
You have 8 offices?
8.
Do we have all that information? We need to make sure we get that.
You want to put all of them up there?
Well,
I will not pass the phone number test now, Brian. I will fail miserably.
Well, I was getting ready to say, do you know? That was next. Do you have the phone number? What are some of the, and we've discussed this in years past, but it's very important. What are some of the reasons why somebody should come in and sit down with you and one of your professionals that you have in there? What's the benefit of coming in and sitting down with one of your tax preparing professionals?
Well, so one of the biggest things at H&R Block is we really push and require our tax professionals to get continuing education. So they spend a lot of time, and especially this year with the tax law changes, a lot of extra time taking classes, making sure they understand those tax law changes so that we can implement every change in a positive way for you, or to have the least negative impact. Because some of us, for me personally, it's all positive impacts. I'm kind of excited about them. Now my daughter, she's having some negative impacts from it. So for every taxpayer, it's going to be different. So again, their key focus is taxes. It's what we do. That's who we are, right? And so that they're extremely knowledgeable and skilled and experienced, and they know what they're doing, and they're going to be able to find you credits and deductions that maybe you might have missed if you just do it on your own. If you remember last year, I told everyone, even if you don't come to H&R Block, go get a professional to look at it. Get a consultation so you can prepare for next year. And over the summer and all year, I've talked to so many people that said, I didn't know that was happening. And I'm scared for people this year.
Well, we've talked about in the past that you need to come in. My thought, and we talked about, if you come in and sit down with a professional much like yourself and your staff, not only are you preparing the taxes now, your professionals are saying, this is our suggestion for next year.
Absolutely.
So not only are you preparing your taxes, because some people, and we understand that you're busy out there and they want to run in, file their tax, and that's what's on your mind is, I want to file my taxes, I want to get out, and I want to get my refund, get back to work or whatever I'm doing in life. But there's the side where you need, it helps to have a professional, much like your staff, that says, while we're filing this, what I see here that you didn't do last year that would have been a benefit, you might want to start doing this year. So you're able to also counsel for next year's
Absolutely,
tax
and that is
season.
part of our service, and we are here year-round. We're here all the time. You can come in at any time. We don't charge for that service. You can
So you're
come
not
in-
just stopping in and file your taxes. You'll get a
No.
professional.
A
And last but not
consultation and advice.
least, you're a year-round business. You handle business taxes, corporation filings, you name it. Your business does every bit of that year-round.
We do all tax returns. We can do your personal, your business, your small business, your big business, corporations, partnerships, states, trusts, whatever you got, we can take care of it for you. And again, they're skilled. They spend hours and hours every year getting education and building on that education to be able to do taxes. And it's not a requirement of the IRS to be able to do taxes to have any education. And that scares me. Years ago they tried to implement that you had to be certified through them. And there were lawsuits and it went away. But I was very excited about that because you don't know who's doing your taxes and you need to ask that question. Are you registered with the IRS?
Tax tips with Beth Bennett, H&R Block, 706-635-5563. How many locations now? 8?
8.
Beth Bennett has 8 locations to serve you there, and you could call that one. And I'm going to step out and say that if you call and you have a situation where they have office hours, but if you're working and you're busy and you have to ask for something, you will do an appointment. I remember that from last year, so can I go ahead and say that?
Absolutely. We will accommodate your schedule. If our hours don't work for you, you just call the office and somebody will work with you to get you in and get your return done at your convenience.
No matter where you're at, that one location is just one. There's 8 to serve you. Beth Bennett's locations of H&R Block here in North Georgia. So if you're in North Georgia, we recommend a tax professional that can help you file your tax, not just file your tax, but help advise you on things that may help for next year. And that would be Beth Bennett's H&R Block. Thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And by then, we'll have a lot of things going on, and you'll be getting a lot of questions from people, and we'll have other things probably coming from the government that we can discuss. You agree?
I think we might see some changes from
good?
the government. We're good. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back right after this, and we'll wrap up our programming today because we go to 10 o'clock, and I got some more things I want to share with you.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
We're more than just $5 medium one-topping pizzas. Stuffed garlic knots, breadsticks, bone-out wings, pasta, and new Cinnabon mini rolls. We're the $5 lineup with the best sides for your pizza.
$5 each.
Choose 2 or more, $5 each. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Sorry for the hold up there. And sorry for the hold up there. Got a lot going on this Thursday morning. Now, I really actually feel like, Josh, we hadn't even gotten the show started because we've bounced all around, but we've had some great things going on. We've had our Carlos Corner today, and then we had Tax Tips with Beth Bennett. We opened the show, if you're just joining us now, we opened the show with Congressman Doug Collins. I want to double back on that for a minute. And I'm your host, BKP. You can always reach the show, 706-889-9700. And that's a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week. You can text that number at any time. You can text that number at any time and get us there. We have our email address and also the social media ways that you can get in touch with us. Now, let me check the Twitter deck just to make sure as we're starting here 43 minutes ago, okay? 43 minutes ago, Make America Great Again. The president tweeted that out, President Donald J. Trump. 44 minutes ago, the president said, getting ready to leave for the great state of Texas, okay? Now, the president is going to head to the border. He's been doing a lot of tweeting this morning, so let's go back to, let's just stay on this morning. This morning, an hour ago, the first tweet of the day, crying Chuck. Now, there's been a lot made of, and I didn't get time to put up pictures here, so we're just going to have to roll with what I have. There's been a lot made of. Do you have the one where the GoFundMe? Can you pull that up? Get the GoFundMe one just to have some fun. Yeah, no hurry. But let me read the tweet while Josh is getting that picture. Because how did, and I wasn't here. Oh, God, I'm bouncing around. Thank you. Rick and Bruce did an outstanding job yesterday. They just did. They do a great job. They'll be with us Friday on the All-Star Political Panel. I attended, I was not on the border. I do know I was thinking about running down to the border and doing some, some reporting directly from our southern border, but instead I found some things over at the Gilmer County Board of Commissioners workshop that I was interested in, and I believe in getting involved in our local government. If we would all get involved in that, things would change nationally. Absolutely, folks. If you'll go to your Board of Commissioners workshop, your Board of Commissioners meeting, your Board of Education, your City Council, if you will go to those and get involved, you will change the country. Oh, yeah. Yes, you will. Okay, so Crying Chuck told his favorite lie when he used his standard soundbite that I slammed the table and walked out of the room. He had a temper tantrum. He did. Because he knew he would say that. And after Nancy said no to proper border security, I politely said bye-bye and left. It's no slamming, waste of time. So they've come out, and they're pushing the narrative, temper tantrum. Okay, a temper tantrum. If you notice something, and I know, go ahead and put that up. This went around all day yesterday. Like this one here, second podium for Nancy and Chuck. The goal's $1,000. This was a joke. GoFundMe, trying to get a second podium for Nancy and Chuck there. So that went around. Leave them up there for a minute while we talk about them, okay? That was some of the biggest jokes yesterday going around the internet. But these two people right here know they're lying to the American people. So if you know you're lying, they think if they yell loud enough that Trump is lying, you will miss the videos out there of Schumer, Pelosi, Obama, Hillary Clinton, the list goes on, that says we need border security that involves or includes a barrier on our southern border. So they think if they yell, Trump lied, temper tantrum, Trump did, passion, don't get passion confused with a temper tantrum. And Trump said, hey, if I stay 15 minutes. You've heard Nancy. Nancy said no. She wags her little finger. No, no. Okay? Absolutely not. No matter what happens, you don't get $1. The reporters, can he get $1? No, I won't even give him $1. I don't care. Right? And the bottom line is he goes in a meeting. It didn't happen. He goes in a meeting, he takes some candy. I mean, my God, here, Nancy, here's some candy. You know I can't eat that. I can't do that, Donald. Why did you bring candy? Schumer, okay, get some candy, pass it around here. Here's some Starburst. Here's some, here's some M&Ms, whatever the hell you want. Let's eat an M&M and talk for a minute. Okay, so if I sign everything, okay. Now, Schumer said Trump is much smarter than these people. And I don't care what anybody says. Trump it's totally over the top, his intelligence level of these two people, because they know nothing. They think America is going to sit back and be in all these tears over government workers. Now, I do know we need some people in these key positions, okay? I know that. And you know that. But they think that we are going to break down and just bawl tears over 800,000 government workers. I'm still of the point that, just the fact that we found out that a partial equaled 800,000. Now, so they were saying, one, they haven't been able to refute the fact checking. They can't take that. I watched Morning Joe and Minka are off today. Okay, so I watched Little Willie Won't Go Home, and I watched Michael Steele, the token black Republican former chair of the RNC, lefty, whatever you want to call him. He's their token brother from the RMC, from another mother of the, he used to be the chair, whatever. Okay, so Michael Steele's on there, and Barnacle. Yesterday, CNN's head spun off, and so did MSNBC, ABC, CBS. They all spun off because, why? Because they could not fact check him in real time or any time against what the President of the United States came out and said to the American people. And you have a hard time with the one line when the President of the United States said walls are not so much to keep, to protect people on the outside, or whatever the quote was, but to protect the ones you love inside the wall. And we love Americans. So they can't stand it. They can't do the fact checking that they thought. So they run out and they lie in front of the camera and say, oh, hey, 2 days ago, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are saying, just open the government, Mr. President. These poor people, please just open the government. If you open the government, then we could start talking about border security and have some good, positive conversation. He said yesterday to Nancy, I sign everything, open the government. Will you start talking about, some sort of barrier on this? No. So no matter what I say, nothing changes, right? No matter what I say. No matter what you say, you're getting not $1, I tell you. And then what's his name had his, where's my glasses? My Chuck Schumer impression. Mr. President, this is my Chuck Schumer. No, I don't want to do it, Chuck Schumer. Anyhow, but so that being said, so they come out and they lied, said he threw a temper tantrum. President of the United States, an hour ago, there is great unity with the Republicans in the House and the Senate, despite the fake news media working in overdrive to make the story look otherwise. The opposition party and the Dems know we must have strong border security, but they don't want to give Trump another one of many wins. That's what it all boils down to. These two people on the screen do not care if your neighbor is shot. They do not care if your kid is coming home from school today and is killed by a drunk driver that's here illegally, that's been deported 3 times. They don't care. They don't care if your kid is killed today by a drunk driver that should have been deported 3 times. And they live in a sanctuary city where the first notice to ICE is not granted or honored. You're supposed to have, ICE goes and puts a first notice, what's called a first notice. Hey, if they're released, we get first. They won't do it because they're in a sanctuary. They don't care. If your kid, your mom, your dad, your friend, no matter who is killed today, the president put the numbers out, these two do not care, okay? 16,000 a month or a week? I don't know. You do the math. They're probably fact checking me. 16,000 a week or a month. Killed, overdose, opiates, all right, fentanyl, all the above, okay? These two don't care, okay? All right, 55 minutes ago, the president said great support for border security and the wall. Fox and Friends, even greater than anyone would know. President's supporters do not want him to cave. At Steve Ducey, I won't. The president put that out. Hey, he has the support. Now take him down a minute. Do me a favor. Hunt me a picture. I don't care what you find of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Get me a picture. This pales in comparison to what's about to happen, I think, okay? So here's my opinion, okay? As ugly and mean and, wow, I don't believe you said that. I don't believe you went there, okay? But what we need to do is call Mike Lindell, right? Do you know who Mike Lindell is? He's the My Pillow guy, right? I mean, joking or not, okay? Mike Lindell, My Pillow, we need to call him. We need to order a pillow. Promo code Ruth Buzzy Ginsburg, okay? 85 years old, not participating in the Supreme Court, has made so many political comments that she really should not be on the court just for that, okay? Her demeanor. She is 85, and, you know, sadly enough, she's had cancer surgery, okay? Let me just say this. Let me say this. Just saying, okay? Antonin Scalia, former Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, was in good health that we know of, went to a hunting trip out there in Texas, and decided one night after dinner to go and retire and go to sleep with a pillow over his head. Now, I say that, everybody's like, oh, freaking out, you know, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. All right, all I'm saying is, you know, with a pillow over his head, okay? Yeah. And, you know, next thing you know. So, you know, how many states have legalized assisted? I'm just saying, why am I the bad guy? She's 85. She needs to retire. Put the mirror under her nose and see if there's a fog. I mean, I think somebody should come out and tell us if she's alive. She will not leave the bench. She needs to leave the bench. She's not competent to serve another day. But I'm going to tell you something. If you think, that's Lindsey Graham, right? It will go through Lindsey Graham's committee. Get ready. Because if you think, all right, for 1 minute that they're going crazy over the border, wait till this happens. That's just saying. Just saying. So you can go ahead and take her down. All right. Oh, all right. All right. Yeah, with the Febreze. Yes, I understand. Putting the Febreze on her. That I like that. Didn't the guys do that yesterday? Having a good time. Oh, so you have somebody out there. All right. Now, I have a letter here, and we want to see what happens with the new William Burr is going to be the new Attorney General. So there's a lot of stuff that we want to get into tomorrow here, and we will Wait a minute, what was today? Is today Thursday? Or Wednesday? Thursday. Oh, so I'm in Blue Ridge tomorrow? Wow, I'm glad I figured that out before, the show's over. Oh, that's because I wasn't here yesterday. So tomorrow we're in Blue Ridge's Circuit World, and we'll have everybody up there. We'll ask the All-Star Political Panel. But the Rod Rosenstein, so get ready for the next couple weeks. Rod Rosenstein is leaving as Assistant Director of the Department of Justice. He is leaving. They're going to confirmation hearing this week, should be, I think it's this week, for William Burr, the new Attorney General. We'll find out what happens there. Rosenstein said he would stay, this is a while ago, when he felt Mueller had wrapped up, so we are waiting on Mueller watch here. Tom Steyer, the billionaire, there's two things you want to pay attention to. I'm going to give you a couple things we're trying to highlight today. Tom Steyer, the billionaire, that got involved in all of the campaigns over the past 2018. Tom Steyer said he would. Remember that interview? I brought it to you here. I brought this out, and I know that got glossed over. When he was asked, would he run for president? Okay? And I think Steyer has put up 5 points. You do the Google, go in there, check it out. Steyer put up 5 points that he wanted to make sure was hit during a presidential campaign. My biggest thing is not Tom Steyer's announcement, okay, that he will not run for president of the United States, okay? And that he will put $40 million to move the ball forward to impeach the president of the United States. My thing is, when that was announced, is who did Tom Steyer find? Who did he find to support as a candidate for president of the United States? Because his quote, if you go back and we'll try to find the interview, because we did it right here, and I think we even did the audio that day, that Tom Steyer said when asked, will you run for president of the United States? He said, I have 5 points that I need to make sure. He said, if I cannot find a candidate that will fit the 5 points of a candidate that I want to see happen, then I will run if I cannot find that candidate. So that's what you need to be watching for, is who is the candidate that Tom Steyer has found in the Democrat Party that made him decide he would not run. Now, I'm trying to get to a lot of stuff before we close. And the one thing I did, and I will get this letter, okay? I will get this letter out today, and I'll put it on the internet. But, Republicans asked, all right, we got a major problem still. See, the problem didn't go away. And we've got to put pressure. I asked Congressman Doug Collins if his counterpart in the Senate, which is Lindsey Graham, will carry this on and move over. But remember that we asked for a special counsel to be appointed. So in March of 2018, the committee called for then Attorney General Jeff Sessions to appoint a special counsel to review FBI and DOJ decisions in 2016 and 17. Specifically, the committees expected an official who would review decisions made or not made by the Department of Justice and the FBI in 2016 and 17, including but not limited to evidence of bias by any employee or agent of the DOJ or FBI or other agencies involved in the investigation, the decisions to charge or not charge, and whether those decisions were made consistent with the applicable facts, okay, the applicable law, and the traditional investigation and prosecutorial policies and procedures, and whether the FISA process employed in the fall of 2016 was appropriate and devoid of extraneous influence. Sorry, I had to get it out. But we asked for that when the Republicans were in charge. That goes back to March, okay? Now, the Department of Justice said, no, we're not going to do a special counsel. Although the Attorney General then, Jeff Sessions, did not appoint a special counsel, he recognized the importance, is all they did, of the committee's inquiry and appointed a person in the Department of Justice to review the matters. That person that they appointed to review the matters, okay, was United States Attorney Mr. Huber. Now, Mr. Huber is in the office of Salt Lake City, Utah. So as the congressman said this morning, they thought, well, here's what the Department of Justice did. You know, they would appease the request, okay? We got a problem in the Department of Justice and the FBI. It did not go away, and that's why I want to know what William Burr plans to do as the head of the Department of Justice, and I want to know what we're going to do as far as the FBI is concerned, okay? But it did not go away. So what they did is, and you heard the congressman say themselves, they thought they would kick this can out to Utah and it would just disappear. Well, then in December, Mark Meadows, then Chairman Mark Meadows, hey, he instructed this guy to come testify. And remember, there was a placard up there that said Mr. Huber, and he just chose not to come testify, okay? And the letter that went out January 7th that's getting no coverage whatsoever is signed by sincerely Jim Jordan, Doug Collins, and Mark Meadows. Okay? So Congressman Jim Collins, the congressman with us this morning, Doug Collins, and Congressman Mark Meadows. And they're demanding, okay, please provide the requested documents, and there's a list. The total number of witnesses, they want to know the total number of witnesses you have interviewed, including names and specific individuals where possible, and the number of witnesses remain to be interviewed. The total number of FISA applications you reviewed. What did you do? The total number of documents reviewed, including their substance and format, email, meeting notes, phone logs, etc. The description and account of your coordination with the Department of Justice, IG, that's the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz. We want to know. I mean, this got sent to you in March of 2018. We've asked over and over, Mr. Huber. You got kicked out to Utah. We set you up in December to come and testify and bring us information and answer to the committee. You were a no-show. You didn't show up. You didn't even return our calls. We hear you're not interested in even participating in this. That's what we hear. This is a lot of information that we've asked for, okay? And the letter is dated, like I said, January 7th. It said, please provide the requested documents and information as soon as possible, but no later than 5 p.m. January 21st, 2019. So we're going to keep an eye on that, but that is something that's not making the news, not making the rounds. That's very important, and we will get that letter up today. I want to get that letter on the website today. We will get that out there, and we'll put it on social media so you can see it to make sure it's out there and it's you're getting to see it. Now, Jerry Nadler, I brought this up with the congressman. Jerry Nadler is the chair, and here's my concern there. And I understand the Congressman Doug Collins. We'll go with that. He is the Republican ranking committee member of the Judiciary Committee, okay? And we're gonna go with that right now. That I understand Collins, the congressman, to me, my opinion is he's got to step back just a little bit. Not that he's not going to be assertive, and he's got to gather in which direction these people are going to go. All right, whether he tells us that or not, that would be my opinion. Nadler, what is disgusting me with these people, okay, is Nadler came out, and this is the guy who's going to be the chairman, okay, and we're wondering if he wants to impeach the President of the United States. But Nadler comes out to microphones 2 days ago and just blisters the President as a liar. And, you know, there was a time when they had respect for each other And they were very cautious before the word lie came up. I mean, remember Joe Wilson of North Carolina was censured because he wasn't in front of a microphone outside, but he broke the decorum, I guess is what it's called, of the House rules. He wasn't wearing religious head covering, but he yelled during the State of the Union, "You lie," okay, to the President of the United States when he was trying to explain that then Barack Obama that, you know, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. You lie! Well, Joe Wilson got in big trouble, and the next day it was, oh my God, we don't say lie in this town because, you know, anybody could be guilty. You know, it's a long lineup when we say lie. But there used to be a little caution on that. Nadler stands out front 3 days ago in front of cameras. Jerry Nadler, okay, he stands out there and he says, President's a liar. He's nothing but a liar. Why would the American people believe him when every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie? He's going to stand up in front of the cameras and he's going to lie to the American people. This is the guy we're wondering if he is wanting to bring impeachment hearings and charges against the President of the United States as this guy stands up. That concerns me. Nadler is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. The House Judiciary Committee is where you would bring, I think you need to pay attention to something, okay? Jerry Nadler, and we'll give this as one of our takeaways because there's one more thing I want to do. Jerry Nadler is the chairman. Gerard from New York. Gerard is the chairman, congressman from New York of the House Judiciary Committee, okay? The House Judiciary Committee, right, is where articles of impeachment would start. Got it? Right there. Tom Steyer said that the impeach now president, Tom Steyer said that he's not going to run for president of the United States so he can invest $40 million just in his efforts to impeach that alone, the president of the United States. Who do you think that $40 million would be focused on if Steyer's smart enough to know that Jerry Nadler's the one that's going to bring the articles? Just saying. First step, and I want to say this is my closer today because I want you to watch Instant Replay with Dave Garner, our sports show that's coming up. This is something I want to say now. And here's the comment on November 14th, 2018, all right? Now, the president signed what was called First Step reform, okay? And let me just read Congressman Doug Collins' comment on this today, and this was November 14th of last year. Today marks a huge step forward in our endeavor to make meaningful justice reform a reality. The president unequivocally called on Senate to pass this legislation, which the House voted on overwhelmingly this past May. We began working with the White House on the First Step Act over a year ago, and we couldn't have asked for better, more driven partners than the President Trump and Jared Kushner. This kind of progress reflects the ability of the president to find common agreement for the common good in complex areas. And I look forward to voting and send this bill to his desk soon. So in the First Step criminal justice reform bill that was signed last year, okay, a much needed overhaul, the First Step Act was negotiated and voted on and agreed upon, which is voted on, with Democrats involved. And this was not an easy bill to do, okay? This was not easy to do. And some may say, well, wait a minute, how can you parallel this? But this alone, the First Step Act, affects millions and millions of Americans. Americans, not illegals, Americans. And it is important, probably starting to, not every American, but starting with the African American community, the black young men and older men in jail. Now, where will this go? This doesn't get any play. I refuse to be bitter or angry. Matthew Charles, released from prison and sent back again, begins life as a free man. I've just been praying and hoping that this day would come, Charles said, and it has come, and it's remarkable. It's a remarkable feeling, okay? It can be difficult to maintain hope and keep from getting angry when the government gives you freedom and then takes it back. But Matthew Charles, says he managed by remembering how far he had come, more than 2 decades in a federal prison for selling crack cocaine with a single disciplinary infraction and a growing group of supporters pushing for his release after he was released then from prison again. I refuse to disappoint myself in them. So now, Charles is 52, all right? He's 52, and the new order was made possible by changes to the criminal justice system signed December 21st by President Donald Trump, a bipartisan effort known as the First Step Act, which erased mandatory minimum drug sentences. Now, there's a lot of argument back and forth on this, but Charles is 52. He's the first person that is released from prison based on President Donald Trump signing the First Step Act, and he happens to be black. You would think that Al Sharpton, you would think that black community leaders, the ones that call themselves community leaders, all over the United States would be highlighting how much this is going to help black young men and older men in prison over maybe what some would call minor legal infractions, but got caught up in the system. No, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want that on the front page because they don't want black men in America that's under the biggest attack by Democrats, whether you want to know it or not, is actually going to come out, and this is going to be good for them in America. President Donald Trump, when you voted, he looked at the young black men and women in America and he said, what the hell do you have to lose? I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow morning in Blue Ridge, of all places. Circuit World, 8 a.m. Take us out of here, Josh.